And now it's my it's my pleasure to share a few words about our amazing 2020 keynote speaker who just has to receive this on the screen, so get ready. Our wonderful 2020 keynote speaker, Grammy-nominated composer, flutist, vocalist, artist, and dear friend, Nathalie Joachim. To put it simply, Nathalie is a powerhouse artist and human being. She's performed and recorded with various new music ensembles, is the former flutist of Eighth Blackbird, co-founder of Flutronics, has written for various artists and mediums ranging from interdisciplinary theater to chamber music to dance. An active educator, Nathalie is director of contemporary chamber music at the Perlman Music Program, guest teaching artist for the Juilliard Nord Anglia Performing Arts Program, and is on faculty at the Bang on a Can Summer Festival and Banff Center for Arts and Creativity. It's been a really meaningful experience to hear Nathalie's own compositional work, particularly in these past few years, around her deeply personal project and collaboration with Spectral Quartet, Fun Diiti, hopefully I said that right, for which she was nominated for a Grammy. This project celebrates some of Haiti's most iconic yet under-recognized female artists and explores Nathalie's personal Haitian heritage. It's through Nathalie's extreme vulnerability in her music making, her pursuit of strong human connections with those around her, her unwavering curiosity to learn from communities who have truly experienced life with all its ups and downs, and to share those experiences with audiences through a lens of humility and admiration that makes her music feel honest, welcoming, and from the heart. Nathalie is a bright light who inspires us to say more with our art and to do more with our art. So please join us in welcoming one of the most extraordinary people we are lucky enough to have with us, Nathalie Joachim.
Thank you. What an introduction. Oh my gosh, my whole heart. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Mary. Thank you all for organizing this. This is like so incredible to see this happening. I mean, I really appreciate being here this evening. I, of course, would rather not be here in my living room in Chicago, but you know, I'd love to just be having some beers with all of you in Portland, to be honest. But I also have to say that I totally see the silver lining, and that I think so many people, I heard from so many people today who are saying, you know, I wasn't going to be able to come to the New Music Gathering, and now I'm going to be able to attend so many of these events. So, you know, I think it's really wonderful because it's an opportunity for all of us to really take part in this wonderful gathering of our community that you all have created, and that has just so much to offer us in these coming weeks. So I'm certainly looking forward to it all. I'm proud to be here tonight. And more than anything, I'm just happy to kick the whole thing off. I just got, you know, maybe one of the most amazing introductions of my life. But, you know, for those of you who don't know me, you already heard, my name is Nathalie Joachim. I am a Brooklyn-born performer and composer, now proudly representing for the Midwest. To all my Midwesterners out there. Some of you may know me from my work with my band Flutronics, or my past work with Eighth Blackbird, or even my most recent album, Fum Diiti, but probably a lot of you don't know me at all, and that's maybe good, and I'm hoping that'll actually change even in this short time that we have together here tonight. For a very long time, I was primarily working as a classical flutist, and about 5 or so years ago, I began to really deliberately recenter my artistic practice in a very important way. Not only did I begin owning all parts of my own identity within my work, which was a new experience for me, And just being able to claim myself as a Haitian American, as a Black woman, as a vocalist, composer, flutist, storyteller, educator. But I also became really deeply committed to exploring identity as it relates to our collective existence. And doing so has really led to work that, at its core, is about examining human connectivity. I am intentionally choosing to use music as a vehicle, mostly because it's the language I'm most fluent in. But I don't know, I'm really just about using music to create space for as many of our stories as possible. I genuinely believe that when you take the time to truly see the value of every human life, to see the beautiful simplicity and the awesome complexity of each person, of the billions of people on earth that you are lucky enough to share space and time with, it changes you. I believe that. It changes you every single time. It makes you care for people as if they are all your own, which they are. It makes you move through spaces more mindfully and with a more critical awareness. And it makes you turn towards others and towards yourself instead of turning away. Now, as you've already heard, and as you know, since you're here, this year's New Music Gathering theme is local action, which is both like super specific and like hella broad. Like I was thinking about it and I was like, it's kind of specific, but there's a lot in there. So I'm going to do my best to gather my own feelings around that theme in the time that we have, and we'll just see how that goes. I think a very good place to start is by letting you know up front that I have good news and I also have bad news. And I'd like to start with the bad news because no one wants to end a party as a Debbie Downer. There's like all this talk these days about Karens, and I'm like, what about poor Debbie? So all that to say, I would like to start with the bad news so that we have something to look forward to at the end of this. The bad news is very bad, like really bad. Unless you've been living under a rock, you probably have noticed that the world that we're living in is, I actually thought of many ways to say this. And I think the one that really captured my own feeling about it the most, and excuse my French, my mom is here watching, but I just feel like the world we're living in, to me, the best way to describe it right now is it's pretty fucked. It's like, it's bad. It's about as bad as we've seen it. We're going through it. We're in the midst of a very serious and deadly global pandemic and a moment of reckoning with our truly inhumane healthcare system. Hundreds of years of racial injustice, and I like to just go out and say what it is. White supremacy is really coming to a head right now, and it's really ugly. The earth is screaming as it desperately tries to save itself from constant attacks of capitalism, greed, selfishness, and utter neglect. And that same capitalism and greed and selfishness and neglect has left so many of us living in extreme poverty and has led us into an economic crisis so deep that we can't even actually envision the bottom of it yet, and that's terrifying. Misogyny has led us far beyond what was once perceived as binary gender inequity, revealing violent injustices against every single person who has the simple desire to live in and claim their own body as they see fit. I mean, and that's not even all of it. That's the tip of the iceberg. It's a lot. So, as far as bad news goes, it doesn't get much worse than where we're at. At least I hope it doesn't, for all of our sake. But the good news is we still here. We're still here. We're still here. And it's like a miracle, to be honest with you. It's like a miracle. And there actually is a solution to all of these problems. It is going to take every single one of us. But this, like every other moment of failure in your life, and I know you've had them, I've had my fair share too. This is a glorious moment of opportunity. The opportunity to do. An opportunity to keep our industry in check, to push back, to set all of the records straight, to be seen, to be heard, and an enormous opportunity to give voice to people whose stories need to be heard. It brings me back to this recentering of my own practice, which has truly shown me the value of capturing humanity as a way of coming closer to my own humanity. And I can tell you from my own experience that the work has to start from within. You've got to confront your own biases. You have to take the time that is necessary to build your own credibility so that you can then, and only then, go out into the world and use your gifts as artists to shine light into the darkest corners instead of turning away, which is what we're used to doing. This moment right here is your, and I use that word intentionally instead of saying our, this is your moment to rise. Now, we have seen a whole load of nonsense in the way of responses to this moment in the past few weeks. And y'all already know how I feel about that. And if you don't, there are receipts out there on these internets. But all I will say here is do not use this as an opportunity to meet chaos and noise with more chaos and noise. I know this is new music, but that's not what this is about. It's just, it's wrong. It's incorrect. It's the wrong response. We need to all see this moment for the mess that it is. And it's messy. We done talked about the mess. It's messy. We need to walk directly through it, which does mean that you're going to get some bumps and bruises along the way. But we need to walk through it, I think, not with the aim of just getting to the other side of it, but walking through it with the mindset and the aim to transcend it. We really need to see all of this hatred and all of this injustice and use it to push ourselves and everyone around us to rise. Um, a few weeks ago, it might have been a few weeks ago. I don't know. It might have been a few months ago. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on the time. Some COVID time ago, I attended and spoke at one of the brilliant virtual town hall discussions that was hosted by the International Contemporary Ensemble. Thank you for that. I saw some ICE people in the comments earlier. Thank you so much for hosting those. They're amazing. And at the town hall meeting that I attended, I actually brought up this James Baldwin essay about the creative process, which I have been revisiting in these months almost as a ritual. And I highly recommend it. Maybe there is going to be some way for us to share it with everybody if you haven't read it. But it's like all Baldwin. You do want to revisit it. It's a gift that continues to give and continues to sort of blossom and bloom every time you read it. So I just wanted to share a short quote from it here today. Just pulling it up. He says, "The conquest of the physical world is not man's only duty. He is also enjoined to conquer the great wilderness of himself. The precise role of the artist, then, is to illuminate that darkness, blaze roads through that vast forest, so that we will not, in all our doing, lose sight of its purpose, which is, after all, to make the world a more human dwelling place." And that it's powerful. That's just like that's one of many quotes that I could have chosen from it, but I share that one now, and I hope that it sticks as a reminder for you to do the inside work right now and use what you're learning to challenge the systems. Now, every New Yorker here knows and has seen the sign on the subways, if you see something, say something. Yes, if you see something, say something, but also arm yourself to be able to say it with the facts and the knowledge to back it up. We have to hold on to the truth. I mean, everyone's out here talking about hand sanitizer, masks, and all these things. And I will tell you what, the truth is the best protective shield ever invented. It is exactly what will save us in this moment and going forward. So do the work so that you can be the truth in your artistry, in your performance, in your writing, your programming, administering, educating, yada yada. I mean, I could go on for a long time. I've already been talking for a while already. I'm Haitian, so we like to talk. Forgive me. No one will beat us in a talking contest, and I could talk all day if we had it. But I don't know. I guess when I think about it, look, there's no amount of cute, and she cute, okay? And there's just like no amount of Grammy nominations or awards or accolades, although she got those too. There's just none of it is going to give me more to say than what's out there already for you to learn, right? I'm a regular person. I don't have all the answers, or maybe any of them, I'm not sure. So the best advice that I can really give is to do the work, do the inner work, and pick a problem. We've listed so many here today. Pick a problem. And it all needs to stop. I mean, you don't have to choose all of the problems. None of us can solve all of the problems, but pick one. Don't be apathetic. Don't be disillusioned. Ask yourself, what are you willing to stand for? And then do the work every day, forever. I always hear in our spaces, in our industry, I hear a lot of people talk about legacy, right? And I've been thinking about that a lot, specifically in this moment of everybody sort of, just mindlessly doing, and just so they can be seen in this moment as having done something, right? But legacy is not about one action, it's about the sum total of all of your life's actions. People will see, they'll look back. We love doing that with artists. People love a retrospective. They love to honor you once you're gone. And people will see, they will see what you did, and maybe more loudly, what you didn't do. I guess I just keep coming back to this recentering of my own artistic practice. It it changed me. And I really believe more than anything now that that is where my strength lies. I want my legacy not to be about the music even. I don't know that my strength is actually the making of the music or the fluting or the singing or any of that. I think that for me, I want my legacy to be every single life that I have touched through my work. And honestly, it will be, whether I like it or not. And I think the same is true for all of you. So that just makes me think, it makes me think of all that we could accomplish by each committing to doing the work today. If we all committed to doing the work, not just in service of ourselves, but in service of something so much greater than ourselves. And it's a lot, a moment like this, the moment we're all living in right now, it can make you feel so small. I have felt so small in these past weeks. But honestly, do something. Because what feels like a small something to you could very well be everything to someone else. So I think I'm here tonight to ask you all to commit yourself today to doing the inner work so that you can then get to doing the on the ground work that we so desperately need. So that you can then mindfully go out and pay attention to what the people who say they represent you are doing on your behalf. Pay attention to that. Pay attention to that in politics, but pay attention to that in our industry, in the spaces that we occupy. And see, when you observe something, see where that truly lands in your own heart. And if it doesn't reflect you, the you that has done the work, and it doesn't reflect us, this beautiful, amazing community of people, what we stand for, then it is, in fact, your responsibility to call it out. I said I wasn't going to be a Debbie Downer, so I'm gonna try to get on the upswing here. Everybody gets it, right? Do the work, do the inner work, help each other. You got to do the work. You know it. But also, this moment is so, so hard. And I think we all got to remember to take care of ourselves too. Do the work, but take a break when you need it. Do the work, but also lean into the love in your life where you can find it. Do the work, but also do all the things. Go to therapy, do yoga, eat well, sleep, for crying out loud. Get time in the sun, find ways to breathe fresh air where you can get it. say thank you to people and really mean it. Learn to do that in a true way because it's healing. Stop worrying so much in this age of social media about being interesting, because I guarantee you that if you concern yourself much more with being interested, then so many more people will be interested in you. Life is really short. I have learned that myself in a very personal way. No one here knows how much more time we've got past this very moment. So do the work today. Do the work, especially when no one's looking, especially when you really don't feel like it. Do it anyway. See each other and be excellent at doing the work. Be so excellent at doing the work that you cannot be dismissed. Do the work on you, because being you is all that you got that ain't nobody else got. Go all in on you. And in my heart, I really do believe that that helps you go all in on all of us. And I think I also need to say that being an artist, this is something I hope we never forget, that being an artist is a privilege. And I know a lot of us are out here learning about privilege in this moment. And I hope that what you're taking away from your learning about privilege is that it does, in fact, obligate you to lend a hand to someone who does not get that privilege. So that's it, kind of. That's what I got for you. I can only wish you all good luck in doing the work, because we must do this. And I know that we can together. And as you go into this week, these coming weeks, all of these beautiful events that have been organized and planned for us, don't forget to contribute yourself. Don't forget to connect. Don't forget to be kind. And roll up your sleeves, because we got a whole lot of work to do. Thank you.
Nathalie.
Oh, thank you, Nathalie.
I never gave a speech like that before, so I hope it's okay.
Amazing. It was amazing.